What's up, Boise? Welcome to the 2021 Lunch for Literacy to Benefit the Learning Lab. My name is Anthony Doerr. I had the privilege of being the guest speaker at the lunch in 2003 and 2011, and one of the great pleasures of my life is seeing this event grow into becoming this bright spot on the city's cultural calendar. While we're all bummed that we can't be together in person at the Grove this year, thank you so much for joining us virtually and helping celebrate the 30th anniversary of the Learning Lab. During the next hour, you're going to get to hear from some of the awesome people who founded the Learning Lab. You're going to get to hear from some special honorees. You're going to get to hear me interview world-famous author, activist, and actor Jamie Lee Curtis. And the heart-tugging moment, you'll get to hear from some of the students of the Learning Lab itself. Just because we've gone virtual doesn't mean we're not also going to have a terrific auction. This year's is extra terrific because you're going to get the chance to bid on having one of 10 previous Learning Lab guest authors virtually visit your book club. We have Jess Walter, Leslie Patricelli, Richard Russo, Cameron Wright, Pete Fromm, Nancy Pearl, Stephen Rowley, Ridley Pearson, Will Schwalbe, and Byron Lane. So please bid generously. We have an incredible opportunity. If we raise $60,000, some generous donors are going to throw in $30,000 more dollars. Thank you so much for supporting the Learning Lab. Go get a glass of wine, get a sandwich, get a snack. Make sure your laptop is charged up. We really, really appreciate your support. Let's all help the Learning Lab go bring literacy for all for the next 30 years. Here we go.
Well, Tony, thank you so much. And welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for the 28th Annual Lunch for Literacy to benefit the Learning Lab. There is so much to celebrate today. Yes, it is our 28th Annual Lunch for Literacy, our very first virtual Lunch for Literacy, and I know it's different. It's different, just like Tony was talking about. Normally, we'd be in the Grove, in a big room all together, being able to wave across the room and say hi to each other. But you know what? We are still all in this together for all of the students, the past and present and to come that have benefited from Learning Lab and your generosity. And now, with having the virtual Lunch for Literacy, we have people that are tuned in all over the country, all over the world, that are here together for one purpose, and that's to make sure that we can continue the great work that Learning Lab does each and every day. Now, if you want to make a donation, you can do that very simply. If you just text the word LEARN to the number 22454, you're going to get a text right back. That link is going to take you right to a donation page, and you can be able to make a safe, secure donation online. Of course, I hope you've already had a chance to check out all the online auction items, but if you haven't yet, please do so, and you can get to that by going to learninglabinc.afrogs.org. Once again, that's learninglabinc.afrogs.org. And that's going to take you right over, and you can check out all the great items. Of course, most are all book related and fabulous. Different baskets and packages that are available for you to be able to bid on. Now, you are going to need a couple of devices or a couple of tabs. I know that's a lot scarier sounding than it really is. All it means is you can be looking at all the auction items and checking that out on your phone while you're watching all of the virtual event and the great things that we have to come, including that interview with Tony and Jamie Lee Curtis. I know I'm very excited about that one. But you can have all that going on your computer while you have that happening in your phone for the online auction, your donations, all of that. If you're having any online auction issues, it's okay. We got you taken care of. We have a team that is waiting to answer your questions about the online auction at 208-807-3808. All right, I think we are all ready. This is going to be a fabulous, right around an hour of time that we are going to be able to hear from teachers, from volunteers, from this to come. And remember, $60,000 is the number we need to hit. Once we hit $60,000, now I don't want to limit you. We can go far beyond that. But once we hit 60,000, then all that generous donation matching dollars from the donors, that's going to get added on $30,000. So all of a sudden, your generosity is going to be 50% more than you've already put in. So we're going to go from $60,000 to $90,000. Well, we couldn't do this by ourselves. It takes all of the volunteers, it takes all the staff, it takes the students, and of course it takes the generous sponsors that we have. The old saying, it takes a village, well, it really does. And we want to thank all of our sponsors like Gustavo Goss. Thank you so much for your generosity. Also, Erstad Architects. Different is good. The Grove Hotel. The Grove Hotel is offering meeting planners no-risk meetings, total rewards for 2021, taking the financial risk out of your meeting. Call now to learn how to bring your group together in a safe environment where new sanitation procedures and protocols are in place. And thank you to Key Bank. For decades, Key Bank has opened doors to hundreds of thousands of new homes and new businesses to help communities thrive. That's why Key Bank has made such generous donations to affordable housing, small businesses, education, and renewable energy. Because when a community's potential is unlocked, we all benefit. Key Bank opens doors. Now, we're going to be hearing from a lot more of our wonderful sponsors throughout the event, and we couldn't do it without each and every one of them. So thank you so much to all of our sponsors, and I hope while you are out and about and you see one of the sponsors, go in, give them a wave. Tell them thank you for their support of Learning Lab. Now, we have some wonderful, wonderful women that have made some incredible videos that we're going to be showing throughout the Lunch for Literacy today. Now, we said we're celebrating 30 years because in 1991 was when everything got started. It was founded by the Junior League of Boise. And so these are women that some of them have been around from the very starting, are around now, and have been such an integral part of being able to keep the mission of Learning Lab alive. And the mission to transform the lives of adults and families through personalized education. Now, to give you a little bit more on the mission, let's hear from some of those ladies we were just talking about.
It is totally a community-based effort. It's a community-based treasure. People are joyful and happy to volunteer there, to raise money.
Volunteers feel so empowered by their time that they spend with Learning Lab.
One of the really big strengths of the lab is also that they've always treated everyone with dignity and respect, no matter where they came from or what their personal circumstances were. Improving students' education is really going to be a life-changing experience.
We know who we are at our core, our values and mission, right? That's never changed. We know that, our board knows it, our staff knows it, our students come to know it, and our tutors know it as well. We've always stuck to the main mission, which is to improve literacy for all.
One of the ways that culture has managed to be maintained is because the people who have been in leadership positions have led by example. They have treated everyone the way that they wanted everyone to be treated.
I think the thing that has never changed from the time I started is that we were going to provide individualized instruction. So we were going to meet the student where they were at the time they entered class, and we were going to help them progress towards their goals from there.
That's part of why I love Learning Lab, because there's so much heart. Everybody just gives the extra mile.
Money shouldn't be the focus of your day. Our job is making sure it stays that way. Questions answered, confidence restored, and every day improved. First Interstate Bank.
Intermountain Gas, providing warm, efficient, and abundant natural gas. It's naturally the best choice today for a better tomorrow.
So there, again, a couple more of our fabulous sponsors of the Learning Lab and all that has come for these 30 years for over 5,000 different individuals. That's kids, adults, families that have benefited because of your generosity. Now, I told you, and Tony had mentioned it too, we hit $60,000 and we have some generous donors that are going to be adding another $30,000. Well, I'm happy to say we just passed the halfway mark. We're at $30,615 currently, so less than $30,000, and we're also going to get that $30,000 matching donation as well. So keep those bids coming in, bid high, bid often. There's so many things to be able to bid on, and here's a great way for you to be able to do that so you don't miss out on Jamie Lee Curtis coming up here in just a few minutes, all the rest of the fabulous videos and information, and of course, the highlight, getting to hear from the students themselves, because they're the true stars. They're the reason why we do this and have continued to do it for 30 years and 30 years to come and beyond that. So please keep those generous donations coming in right now. Thank you to Margaret, $50 donation to Learning Lab. Also Samantha, she's got the high bid on Lab Girl. And then the Space Adventure, Kathy has the high bid right now, $105. Also, Chandra, $1,000 donation to Learning Lab. Thank you so much. Christy, $350 with a virtual visit from Pete Fromm. And it just goes on and on. Jessica, $50. I can't mention everyone right now, but I wish I could. But I can tell you, thank you. Thank you for your donation. And whatever you can be able to do makes such a difference. Now, we've got the two drawings that we had been telling you were going to be happening, and these are some great prizes. So we're going to go ahead and do the drawings on those two lucky winners, and let's hear from another sponsor while we do that.
Bringing Earth's resources to life is more than just our mission. It's at the heart of all we do. Each of the 10,000 Simplot employees share the same spirit and drive for innovation.
Innovation is just part of this company. We're all trying to figure out how to do something better.
Headquartered in Boise, Idaho, we have grown to become one of the world's leading privately held food and agribusiness companies with major operations in the United States and around the world. From processing avocados in Mexico, to helping nature grow a potato that's better for the environment, to developing agricultural solutions in China, to maintaining our leadership as the largest retail food supplier in Australia, our global reach continues to expand and flourish. And yet, as a true farm-to-table company, we are all farmers at heart. Each of us is focused on a single purpose: to feed a growing population.
And thank you so much to Simplot for their support and generous donations that they have made to Learning Lab. And thank you. Now, if you've got those bids and you're getting ready to get those going on your different items, whether it's baskets, experiences, whatever that happens to be, you can set up auto bid, so it makes it even easier on you right now. All you have to do is just look at those items that you really want. Remember going to galas years ago and you had the paper sheets and you filled out your bid on there and you walked away. Didn't think anything else about it. And then someone swooped right behind you and they outbid you. And then you didn't know and you lost out on the items you really want. Well, with auto bid, and it's so simple to do, you can set the high amount. This is how much I'm willing to go on this item. And so then every time someone outbids you, it'll just outbid them real quick. And it'll just go like that until it hits the high amount that you're willing to donate. Now, if it hits your high bid amount, then you'll get your notification and then you go back on, either put more on there, go to just back and forth bidding, however you would like to do that. So let's keep those bids coming in. And if you want to make a donation, so simple to do that. All you have to do is just text the word LEARN to the number 22454. That link will come right back to you, and that'll take you to the donation page from there. All right, told you we're going to have our 2 drawings right now. Now, the first one is for a beautiful flower arrangement from Broadway Floral in Boise. And our winner is Annie Heinman. Annie, congratulations. Enjoy those gorgeous flowers. I'm sure you will. And then our next prize is In Times of Rain and War. This is the Advanced Reader's Copy by Cameron Wright. And the winner is Marcia Whirl. Marcia, congratulations. Annie, congratulations. Enjoy both of those. And when you're looking at your beautiful flowers, when you're reading that copy of this incredible book, think about where they came from and think about your support for all of the students. We've got 492 students that are enrolled right now in Learning Lab. We have, out of those numbers, 376 are adults. We've got 116 that are children, 61 that are families. Now, as well known, we've learned through all of this, education equals opportunity. Now, by that, mean that being able to thrive in a job, thrive for a family, as a unit, as a whole, to be able to provide the best, those opportunities are going to come with your education. And since 90% of our students are low to very low income, we rely a lot on sponsorships and scholarships. And that's where you come in. That's where all the generous donations from our sponsors come in. We need your support to be able to do that. And here is another one of the videos that's, well, it talks about the importance of family and family literacy.
Kudos to Gemma. I think she was the driving force behind the evolution from the literacy lab, which was just focused toward adult literacy, to moving into a family literacy situation and trying to break that cycle of generational illiteracy. And I think that speaks to people today as well, particularly with our large refugee communities. This is really a way that people with few English skills can come in and gain some skills that will allow them to get quicker success in the workforce. You know, when we see a need in the community, like going into the schools with family literacy, I'm really glad we have that collaboration with the school district. That's where our families are, and schools are already providing so many services. It's nice that we can partner with them to provide a service that they couldn't necessarily provide.
To use technology to really be visionary about education and how to approach it with adult students, and then to broaden it to family literacy to break the cycle of illiteracy. You know, at the time in the early 90s, that was really visionary.
It was just an incredible concept and way for adults to come improve their education skills, bring their young children, their birth to 6-year-old children, and then the challenges of learning more and more about early childhood education and quality education for young children, and watch that grow. Mm-hmm. And that, quite frankly, is just, to me, the signature success of the Learning Lab is their development of family literacy and that strong, strong program.
Right now, 6 feet can feel like a long ways away. But from 6 feet, we can still smile at each other. From our doorways and our stairways, from opposite sides of the street and opposite sides of the country. Through fear and frustrations, we can remind each other that we are still here for each other. Because we can still smile at each other. And we're not going anywhere.
Hi everybody, thanks for being here. Each year, Learning Lab presents 2 awards in honor of 2 tremendous women who are integral to Learning Lab's success. Anna Margaret Jones and Gemma Van Hole. Anna Margaret helped establish Learning Lab as a respected and valued community resource for those who want to transform their lives through literacy. Gemma Van Hole, Learning Lab's first executive director, devotedly worked to keep our foundation strong and our organization thriving as we fulfilled our mission. Last year, we honored Dee Sarton with the Anna Margaret Jones Legacy Award for her longtime advocacy for Learning Lab. She emceed our luncheon for many, many years and was a member of our advisory council. Literacy is near and dear to her heart. This year, we asked Dee to come back yet again to present the award to this year's recipient. Thank you, Dee, for being here.
Thanks, Monique. I appreciate you inviting me back to pass along this wonderful award in memory and in honor of such a great woman. You know, Anna Margaret Jones was always sitting right down in front and was just the leader of inspiration at so many of the luncheons that I emceed. But, you know, behind her and in front of her and around her were these great volunteers from the Junior League. And of course, we know that they were the founders. They got the ball rolling on this, and that was 30 years ago. And so today, I get to pass along this great award to them in honor of the hard work, but also the vision that they had 30 years ago to want to support our community. You know, the goal back then was that they wanted to help adults improve their basic skills, their workplace skills, and English language skills so that they could get jobs, so that they could advance in their jobs or educations and become more engaged members of our community. And goodness, haven't we seen that happen year after year at this luncheon? And it all started with the Junior League, their vision, their hard work, and their consistent involvement in what we have come to know as the Learning Lab, and a place where so many come to be inspired to learn and to move forward in their lives. So I want to pass this along and congratulate the Junior League of Boise.
Thank you, Dee, for your kind words. My name is Michelle Wooten, and I have the privilege of serving as the president of the Junior League of Boise. It's especially meaningful to me to accept the Anna Margaret Jones Award on behalf of the Junior League of Boise. We have a long history together, the Jones women and the League women, starting in 1944, when Anna Margaret joined our ranks, followed by all three of her daughters, Anne Marie, Jean, and Patty, and one granddaughter, Gretchen. In this case, I almost feel like this award should be going the opposite way, from the Junior League to Anna Margaret's family and legacy. Many people don't know that one of the important principles of the League is that we'll start a project that we think is needed in the community, and we'll nurture it through its formative years. But eventually, our child grows up and it's time to leave home. That's when we turn that project back to the community, to other professionals and other volunteers and other policymakers, and we hope for the best. In this case, the best turned out even better than we'd hoped, and that's because of women like Anna Margaret Jones. Every community should be so lucky to have women like her in its ranks. Every Junior League should be so lucky to be able to entrust its work to someone like her. So I accept this award in the knowledge that what we began truly reached its potential, thanks to Anna Margaret Jones and all those who worked with her. Together, we changed the arc of a lot of lives, and it's a great source of pride to the Junior League of Boise that we were able to create this for our beloved city. In these times especially, we must renew our commitment to the important lesson that Anna Margaret gave to us. Run toward a problem when you see one, do the best you can, and you just might change the world. So on behalf of all members of the Junior League of Boise, thank you.
Gemma Van Hole, Learning Lab's first executive director, laid the foundation for Learning Lab's success. She believed and demonstrated that when a student's desire to improve literacy skills combined with the talents and compassion of community, lives change. In honor of Gemma's passion and our dedicated students, we honor Patricia Peak with this year's Gemma Van Hole Scholarship. Patricia has been coming to Learning Lab for 2 years, Even during COVID, she's never missed class. She works hard outside of class as well. In addition to the GED content, she's learned she's a very intelligent, competent woman. Her resilience and determination are an inspiration. Congratulations, Patricia.
I would like to thank Learning Lab for giving me the opportunity to get my GED and for choosing me for this scholarship. What drove me to get my GED was my teenage son and my desire to do better in life. I want to show him that no matter how old you are, you can accomplish anything as long as you are determined. I recently passed my third subject, which was math. Now all I have left is science. I would like to thank my tutors, Barbara and Patricia, who walked me through it all. And a sincere thanks to all of you who support Learning Lab.
From here to there, Idaho Power powers communities with clean, renewable energy, lower electricity rates, and a commitment to the people we serve and the place we call home. See what powers us all at idahopower.com.
DB Fitzpatrick, a Boise-based registered asset management firm for more than 35 years, is a proud sponsor. More information can be found online at dbfitzpatrick.com.
Well, welcome back. It is the 28th annual Lunch for Literacy to Benefit Learning Lab. I'm Corey Michaels. This is our very first virtual event, so we have folks from all over, and we hope if you're watching, please, whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, go ahead and put comments in there, because we know we have people from, well, all over the world that are participating and believe in the cause with Learning Lab and the profound work that they have done with thousands of individuals and families over the years. So please do keep those donations coming in, because right now our grand total of both online auction bids and cash donations is just under $50,000. Our cash alone donations, which that's the number that we need to hit $60,000 to get the generous $30,000 matching amount. We've got to do that in cash donations. We're at $35,000. 25 to go. We are well over halfway there. So let's keep those donations coming in. And just to make a cash donation, you can do that by just sending the word, text the word LEARN to the number 22454. And that'll get you a link to go to the donation page and be able to make a donation, whatever amount that happens to be. All right. It is the time we've all been waiting for. I know I have been. Where Tony, we got a chance earlier, and of course most people know Anthony. He is a Pulitzer Prize-winning author, an incredible supporter of Learning Lab, and has been keynote speaker a couple of different times for the Lunch for Literacy over the years. And he is interviewing his friend, actress, author, incredible philanthropist, Jamie Lee Curtis.
What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for participating today. We have a really special treat for you. You will know her from the 1978 classic, John Carpenter's Halloween, Trading Places, A Fish Called Wanda. I still remember watching that movie with my folks. True Lies was this big event in our family in 1994. Then there was The Tailor of Panama. She's a multiple Golden Globe winner, an Emmy winner, a People's Choice Award winner, and most relevant to us, she's a New York Times best-selling writer. Ladies and gentlemen, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Hello. You just lied, by the way, to many, many people. And I'm not going to let you get away with your lies, Tony.
What did I get wrong?
I did not win an Emmy, and I don't think I won a People's Choice Award.
Oh, they're all over the web anyway.
I might have been nominated for those such things. But the best thing about me is that most people don't even know is I am the proud mother of a rescue dog named Rooney, who is my absolute love, and Rooney wanted to be here with y'all.
Oh, what's up, Rooney? You have a rescue dog in one of these children's books.
Yes, and hopefully I will have, sorry, noises are going to be going off. I'm going to turn phones off, dogs. And it is our lunch today. It's a luncheon, correct?
It's a luncheon, yes. And it's for the Learning Lab. They promote literacy in our community. Oh, yeah. What do you got?
Yes, no, I know. So I brought I'm drinking my lunch, not like that. I have a nice protein shake.
Oh, excellent. I'll have some tea.
Look, cheers. Hold on. Cheers. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
There.
Well, what I wanted to get at in your bio is that you are so much more than an actor. You're an activist, you're a writer, and you're so kind. When I emailed you to see if you'd be willing to do this, when we decided to go virtual, you got back within about 60 seconds. So it's just extraordinary. Can you talk a little bit about how you've just decided to, I mean, you're a mom, you've had this extremely busy career as an actor, how you've decided to try to also just make a difference in the world besides being an entertainer?
Well, that's very kind of you. You know, there's a great song that James Taylor sings called "That's Why I'm Here," which is really about why are we here as human beings. I'm not, you know, obviously I'm not here as a human being to be famous. I'm not here, I'm going to be here, just stay right there. I'm going to be here as a human being to let Rooney go do his thing because he had to go out of the room. But I'm, you know, clearly we are here as human beings to connect. And in the various ways that I have tried as a public figure and as a private figure to connect to other people, that's my purpose. So the fact that I'm an actor in movies and television is fun. I've, as you know, sold products for people. I may be most famous in certain circles for selling yogurt that makes you poop. And yet I hope that through all of it, there is some relatability back to me, the person I am, and that person stands for something. Because if we don't stand for something, then we're selfish jerks. Then we're just hedonists who just sort of bang around the world, grabbing. And I hope that what my 62 years have brought me is some understanding that we as a community, a small community in Idaho, the bigger community as the United States, the bigger community as the global world, that we together relate to each other and help each other. So that's my goal. That's my mission. And the rest of it, as they say, is dross. I enjoy what I do. I'm lucky to get to do it. I never thought I would do it. I wasn't a very good student, not because I didn't try. I did try. The delivery system didn't necessarily work for me.
You got started right out of college, or you were 1 year into college, right?
I was half a year into college. And by the way, I went to the only college. I went to college at the only school that would take me, that also happened to be the school that my mother was the most famous alum to have ever graduated. So, you know, they really wanted me with my 840 combined SAT score and my C+ average. I was their girl. They were like, yes, her, we want her.
Oh, was there a shadow of your mom? Your mom, for folks who don't know, was in ECCO. She was in Lassie. She was a huge deal. Was that, did you want to be an actor? Did you want to run away from that? Did you feel her shadow?
I never thought I'd be an actor. Never thought I was very pretty. Didn't have any discernible talent. I mean, I can't sing. I can dance a little. You know, I wasn't in drama classes. I was a cheerleader, to be honest. And, you know, I went to college, as I said, to this place where I had no business. And I minored in being a little sister at a fraternity. And I probably majored in what I was thinking was going to be criminal justice or some sort of social work. Because the truth of the matter is, I thought I would be a good police officer. I am good with people. I believe in law and order. I believe that rules should be followed. And I believe in the role of a public force to protect people, to protect and serve. And so I thought, you know, maybe a social work, maybe a police officer, and that just isn't the way that God had it in mind.
later in life, your mom did a little writing too. I just learned that today when I was reading up before our interview. Was that, were books a part of your life? Did you think I always wanted to write one of these? Do you want to be a children's author? Was that part of your mom? Where did it come from?
You know, again, I never thought I would do anything except maybe be a police officer. Like I didn't know who I was. I just didn't know who I was. And I think I'm not alone.
Right.
And I think many of the young people listening and a lot of the old people listening can attest to the fact that we've all tried to figure out, why are we here? What are our gifts? What does the universe have in store for me? What does God's plan in my life? How will it manifest? I don't know. And I struggled. You know, I really did struggle. So the last thing I thought I would ever do would be writing books. Literature was not a big part of my family's life, although there was a large bookcase. I don't
You ever
really
see
remember.
Tony Curtis reading a book? Was that part
Well,
of
you know,
your
my
childhood?
mother and father divorced when I was quite young. And so I actually was raised by my mother. I barely knew my dad. Talented and fantastic and charismatic though he was, not a great dad. Wasn't interested in kids, or certainly not in his first round of kids. He ended up having a few marriages. So books were not huge, but I will tell you two. The first book that was groundbreaking for me is the book Go Dog Go, which is a P.D. Eastman book. It was one of the Dr. Seuss early reader books. And this is a book about opposites, up and down, hot and cold, in and out. And in the middle of this book, two dogs meet, and one of them is wearing a flamboyant hat. And
Fred
they
and
look
Bev,
at the
right?
other dog and says, "Do you like my hat?" And the other dog looks at him and goes, "No, I do not like that hat." And then he goes, "Goodbye, goodbye." And then many pages of opposites. And then, hello, hello again. "Do you like my hat?" "No, I do not like that hat." "Goodbye, goodbye." Again, many pages of opposites, in, out, hot, cold, big, small. Hello again, same thing happens. "Do you like my hat?" "No, I do not like that hat." "Goodbye, goodbye." And at the end of the book, there's a big party in a tree. Now they're in the big dog party, and all the opposites, big dogs, little dogs, you know, black dogs, white dogs. And now they both are wearing party hats, and they run into each other and say, "Hello again. Hello. Now, do you like my hat?" And the other one goes, "Yes, I do. I do like that party hat. Goodbye, goodbye." Somehow that blew my mind as a child because it was so funny. Why are they talking about hats? Like it was the perfect non sequitur. There's nothing about liking a hat. And it still makes me laugh to this day that I knew that was like my sense of humor was so attuned that I got it. I got that joke, and that carried me. And the truth is, I married a very talented and a very funny man, and his comedy is a very specific type of comedy. But I think my comedy brain knew that that was funny.
I think there's something universal. You build a pattern, A, and then when you break it with B, there's something in all cultures that responds to that. There's some kind of humor in establish a pattern and then surprise. It's like a tickle, you know, it's a
because Tony, life is surprise. We think life is a pattern, but it's not. You know, life is surprise. And that's the miracle of getting older, is you realize life is a surprise every day. Whereas, you know, something that is built on a pattern can be very safe and alluring because it makes you, as you said, A. But when B is thrown in, you're startled. And many people find that very disconcerting. I found it hilarious.
For me, that's the definition of art: is you take a pattern and you break it. You break expectations, and that's what makes life meaningful. Is it breaks stereotype. A stereotype is an expectation and a pattern, and when you get to know somebody, when you see somebody's real humanity, it always contravenes that pattern. It's interesting. It's beautiful. And what I love about these books is, just like you're describing with your dog now, like the kid has to pick up poo when he's 5 years old, and he's like, oh, I don't want to do that. And there's no Hollywoodness about.
No, but again, except for the fact that I've just learned how to filter my Zoom account, I hope that I have eschewed the Hollywoodness, because the Hollywood means fake. It means something unattainable and Klieg lights and not real. And I want to be real. I'm only interested in reality, not in fantasy. So it's interesting that I'm an actor, but I'm a person. The second book that absolutely rocked my world, weird one. My father, I went to visit my father when I was 13 years old with my sister for a summer. He was making a TV series in London. We visited in London, and then he rented a house in Sardinia. And I was a 12-and-a-half-year-old girl, a bit of a tomboy. I was kind of ostracized because I wasn't into the things that the rest of the people were doing. My stepmother and my sister were shopping and cooking, and I just wasn't interested. And they had a bunch of books on the shelf there. And I read a book called King Rat, which was by James Clavell. And it was about a prisoner of war camp. And I learned what historical fiction can do, the kind of immersion into another place and time. And I lost myself there. And I have sort of found myself always yearning for historical fiction. I want history, but I want it in a context that I can feel. I want to have characters that I can feel. And so that book, when I was 12 and a half, changed my life, honestly, reading that book, because it made me go, wow, the world is so much bigger than the world that I knew. And then the other book that has been my sort of absolute go-to is East of Eden. So I am a Steinbeck fan. I find that there's some of the most powerful writing, both as part of a story, but also there's like these weird op-eds in the middle of that book, which I will send you after our lunch, and maybe you can put into the chat somehow or send it to your friends, just to show them. There's one piece that is the most important piece of writing that I think I've ever read, that I would love to share with everybody. So stay tuned, as they say, and it'll be in your chat or inbox or something.
Bet. We'll get it done. We can't thank you enough for being a part of this, Jamie. You've even agreed to donate to the Learning Lab, which is amazing. It's so kind, especially in this year when we're not able to get together after all these amazing lunches we've had at the Grove downtown. It's really become this bright spot in our calendar in Boise. That you could do this for us and help bring people to this chat is so special. We really
Can I tell you one more thing, Tony? Can I tell you one more thing, even though it'll be like a 2-minute thing?
Yeah, do it.
I just want everybody watching to know that I never thought I'd write a book in my life, and that my 4-year-old daughter walked into my room one day and said, like 4-year-olds do, "When I was little, I used a diaper, but now I use the potty." And then she marched out of the room. And I remember sitting there in my office thinking, wow. And I wrote down on a pad in front of me on my desk, when I was little, a 4-year-old's memoir of her youth, which made me laugh. Just made me laugh the same way do you like my hat made me laugh, because a 4-year-old is a baby, basically. They don't have a past. And yet she was saying that she was looking back on her life the same way I would look back on high school, because 4 years, college, 4 years, or shags or bell bottoms, like the good old days, like back in the day. And now she was saying, and I wrote a list of things she couldn't do and now could do. And at the end, I wrote 3 things that made me cry. I had tears rolling down my face. The first thing said, when I was little, I didn't know what a family was. When I was little, I didn't know what dreams were. When I was little, I didn't know who I was. And now I do. That was the moment of the birth of the first of 15 books for children that I've never thought were in my head until the moment they were in my head. And I'm saying this.
That. I love that. The whole idea of everything being new to a child is so powerful and beautiful. And we're always chasing that again as adults, I think.
I agree with you. But it's crucial that all of you people in a learning lab know this. I never thought I would do it until the moment I did it. And that is the absolute truth. What has happened since then is great. But it's crucial that you know that all of those ideas are in you. And you just have to wait for the grace to bring them out. And I need to let you know that because I struggled my entire life as a learner. The delivery system just didn't work. And yet I was there. My daughter said something. And since then, I have now written a bunch of books. So I want to honor the creative process, Tony. I mean, you have such a creative mind. And I know that every single person at the Learning Lab has that same mind. Yes. We just have to kind of own it and be ready for it. And when the grace comes out, grab it. And so I wish you all a very safe and very creative time. So thank you for letting me take that little extra time.
Oh, that
God bless
beautiful.
you all. God bless you all. And Tony, thank you so much for inviting me. And I look forward to seeing you again.
Oh, same, Jamie. Thank you so much for being a part of this today.
Really fun. Goodbye, everybody. God bless. Take care. Be well. Be safe.
Okay.
Well, thank you to Jamie. Thank you to Tony. You know, I have always been a huge fan of Jamie Lee Curtis. I didn't know that I really could be a bigger fan, but after that, if it was possible, I am a bigger fan now than ever before. And thank you so much to Jamie for taking that time and the beautiful words that she had. Now, you can be able to own one of those amazing books by Jamie Lee Curtis. We have an online auction right now, signed by Jamie Lee Curtis herself. This is priceless and a beautiful way to commemorate this Lunch for Literacy. That is items number 406 through 409. You can get bids on there. Or just like Jamie, you can also just make a cash donation. If you haven't already, or even if you did and you found a couple extra dollars laying around, you can donate again. We don't limit how many times. You can just text the word LEARN to the number 22454. That'll get you a link to the donation page, and you can be able to make those donations happen. Right now, overall, combined between the online auction and the cash donations, we are right around 60,000. But now, to get that 30,000 matching donation from the generous donors combined that came up with that 30,000, we need 60,000 in cash donations. We're well on our way, but we need your support. We need your help. Yes, we need you to get on there and get excited about some of the book baskets and experiences in the Jamie Lee Curtis book and all the wonderful authors being a part of your book club through Zoom. I mean, these are wonderful, one-of-a-kind experiences. Bid on those, bid high, bid often, and then also donate. Give what you can be able to give to continue the literacy of so many. Now, we talk about all the sponsors. We talk about you as fans and supporters of Learning Lab and the great work that they do. But, you know, our teachers, our volunteers, the thousands of them over the years, 200 right now, They get such a joy out of being able to support these families, these individuals, to get them, whether it's prepared for the GED or getting the family literacy together and talking about math and reading and writing. They get excited to be able to see the growth of these families and individuals. And here's an opportunity from their mouths to be able to learn more about how their fond memories affect them every day with Learning Lab.
I think as a teacher, those little aha moments that come every so often, certainly not every day, but enough to keep you inspired and keep you going. When a student finally understands something that they hadn't understood before, that's pretty exciting.
He said, "But do you know what the really best thing is?" I was reading to my grandchild the other day, and my daughter walked by with a huge smile on her face and said, "Dad, it is so great to see you do that because you never read to us when we were children."
Really, for me personally, the fondest memories I have are of the people and the relationships that I formed.
When I had the Kurdish refugees up there, this one fellow, Haji, had a pregnant wife, Rahan, who was at home, and I thought she needed to know how to use the phone to dial 911. So I said, "Haji, you need to, show her how to use the phone." And he said, "I don't know how to use the phone." So when I got to the literacy lab, I put him on the phone, I dialed the number, and she didn't believe it was him. And the smile on his face, that's the first time they had actually talked ever on the phone.
To me, it's the people. That's why I stayed so long, because the people, students, met amazing students. And for anything I gave to the Learning Lab, I feel like I received so much more back.
A lot of women who worked so hard, so diligently, with lots of grace, lots of humor, that made it a reality. From the drawing board of the early days to the flourishing of the organization that it is today. It's the people. It's the people that make the difference.
Well, there you can see from the educators, from the volunteers, just the joy that they get from being able to provide this. We talk about education equals opportunity. Well, education means so much to so many individuals. Confidence is a huge thing. Feeling someone who is struggling, whether they're coming from another country. We have students from 51 different countries of origin, most of those now here in Ada County. And whether it's a struggling with the English language, with some other area of education, it's easy for an individual to feel, and this is a word I never want you to ever feel, dumb. They feel less than. They could be brilliant in so many different ways, but the fact that they haven't gotten their high school diploma or they're not strong with English, that takes away their confidence, which that takes away their opportunities. So much comes from this. My brother, who was 26 years older than me, I know, big gap there. Mom and dad were older when they adopted me. My brother in the 60s had made his way through school. He graduated. He got a diploma. Could not read. He could not read. Very charismatic and was very good at, let's just say, having some female friends help him with all of his schoolwork. And so he got through. He graduated and he couldn't read. And my brother was brilliant in so many ways. He could tear apart a car, put it back together better than it came from the manufacturer. That's not dumb. That's brilliance. But he felt that way because he couldn't read. When he went to go get his driver's license, they had to read him the questions so that he could answer them and keep his driver's license. It wasn't until he was much later in life, 50s, early 60s it might have been, that he finally got some help and he learned to read. And I remember how proud he was, because my brother was very stoic. You know, you didn't get a whole lot of emotion out of my brother, but you could see in his eyes, you could see on his face how much that helped him personally. Obviously, he had lived a good, long, life, and but that was the moment that I know meant more than anything else, to be able to sit down, read with his grandkids. And unlike me when I was a small child, not have to make up excuses and let someone else do it. And I never understood it when I was young, but I did as I got older. And I remember that look on his face after he was finally able to read. That's for each and every one of these individuals, each of these families, giving them that confidence that, yes, I can. Yes, I can speak. I can read English. I can do the math. I can do the writing. I can do all these things. That is the catalyst right there for them to be able to flourish in their lives and to not just survive. We have 90% of our students that are low to very low income. The scholarships, them having the courage and the scholarships and your generous donations, those two things together, the confidence to go in there and to say, I need help. And if you know someone who does, Learning Lab is here. There's been thousands that have benefited from your generosity over the years, and thousands more to come. So keep those donations coming in right now between the online auction and the generous cash donations. We're at $66,565. I can't even keep up with it because it keeps going up every time I start to say the number, which is wonderful. But remember, we need $60,000 in just cash donations to get that $30,000 matching donation. So as we are sitting right now, we are at $50,065 in just cash donations, not including the online auction. So we are less than $10,000 away from getting that extra $30,000. And I know, as generous and as wonderful as you have been so far, no matter where you are right now, at home, at work, around the world, wherever it happens to be, as much as we have been able to make so far for this beautiful 28th annual Learning Lab Lunch for Literacy, I know that we can bring it on strong, but the online donations and the online auction, that will be open until Tuesday the 9th. That's at 12 p.m. So you have plenty of time to be able to share this with friends, with families, with other people you know that maybe didn't have the time to be able to join us today. So there's still time to get more. But I think we can bring this home strong here in the next few minutes and be able to hopefully hit that 60,000 before we're 100% done. But we're down to the last few moments now. But as we talk about incredible stars like Jamie Lee Curtis and her support, world-renowned authors, the volunteers, the teachers, at the core of all of this, the stars of Learning Lab are the students. It's the families, it's the individuals, the adults and kids. They're the stars. That's why we continue to do this, why it's been 30 years strong and many, many more years to come because of you. So thank you so much. Let's hear from the true stars of Learning Lab, and that's the students.
Learning Lab has helped me believe in myself again, in achieving my GED and being able to keep striving. My teacher, along with tutors, have been such a great asset to my learning abilities, and I am extremely thankful for them.
I learn English and study my GED. So all the programs for the kids and teachers, and I love everything.
I love.
Okay.
I love Learning Lab because I learn. I like Learning Lab because I learn.
The people is fine. The teacher is very good.
Yeah, I like Learning Lab because here many people not understand French.
only English.
They teach me speak English very well, and they teach me to become a U.S. citizen.
The teacher helped me English, and now for my text for citizenship.
I like everybody. Everybody.
I have amazing tutors and an amazing teacher. They never gave up on me, and then they put me where I need to go on my education. They know what level am I at. They're not giving up on me. I'm seeing progress on my learning, and thanks to my tutors and thank you to my teacher for helping me out.
I have learned a lot of things from here. It's helped me a lot, especially improve my English skill. The teacher take care of us, so thank you.
Because we do science, and science is my favorite. And we do projects like art.
I remember when I arrived from USA maybe 2 years ago, no understand nothing in English. Was a very, very hard situation for me and my wife. But when I arrived to the Learning Lab, the teachers was my support, and right now my life is more nice in USA.
I am very grateful for opening the doors for me to receive an English class.
It has been 4 years since I arrived from Peru. I attend almost every program in Boise. I mean BSU, CWI, English language, but my favorite is Learning Lab because the connection is directly with the volunteers, with the teachers.
Help me with life, if I want to go to grocery store, if I want to talk with my neighbor.
All those amazing teachers and all those fun activities we do.
I love Learning Lab because I am learning more English, speaking a little more English.
Thank you all of my teachers who are helping me. I'm very grateful, and thank you Learning Lab, and thank you for letting me in. Thank you.